Good evening, everybody. Time for another exciting chapter of Granddad's Diaries. Got my Almond Brothers t-shirt on. Probably one of my top 3 bands of all time. We ended in February. There's a memo page. And it says, quote, "The wise economist, the one who saves his time, who regards every moment as precious capital to which he cannot afford to throw away, who regards his energy as a divine gift too sacred to be foolishly expended," unquote. Orison Sweet Marden from the book Thrift. Quote, "Economy is not a means, it is managing," unquote. So March 1st, 1943. March came in like a lamb, so it may go out like a lion. I have started a list of all the governors, senators, and representatives of all our states. I picked them out of the daily papers, so it will be some time before the list is complete. I believe I will have a better knowledge of governmental affairs when I know more about the laws and the state heads. I have to pull my journals back up. March 1st. March 2nd, 1943. Someone has said that it is not the high cost of living, but the cost of living high that cripples so many lives and compels great ability to put up with the returns of mediocrity. March 3rd. Quote, "Be thou rainbow to the storms of life, the evening beam that smiles the clouds away, and tints tomorrow with prophetic ray." Byron. Tuesday, March 4th. Went to Men of the Church supper tonight. Our speaker was Reverend John McSween, D.D., president of Tusculum College, Greenville, Tennessee. He is one of the best speakers I've ever heard. We were all held spellbound. I cannot remember having a more pleasant evening. Friday, March 5th, quote, "Unhappy he who does his work adjourn, and tomorrow work the search delay. His lazy morrow will be like today." Perseus. Quote, "Harvard College pays for me for doing what I had gladly pay for it for allowing me to do." Professor George H. Palmer. Saturday, March 6th. Some people have failed because they could not restrain their desires. They must have a good time. They must buy what they wanted, even if they had to run into debt for it. Do not be afraid to decline to do what you cannot afford. Dare to say no with impetus to be yourself. Sunday, March 2nd. Jesus did not try to prove the existence of God. He brought him. E. Stanley Jones. Monday, March 8th. Quote, "Jesus had the secret of serenity in a very troubled world." James Reich. Quote, Worry in Jesus' view is practical atheism. It comes from trying to be God in our own life. James Reed. Tuesday, March 9th. Thrift merely requires common sense and power of resisting selfish enjoyments. Quote, "Out of the shadow of the past, we move to deliver light, for nothing that is wrong can last, nothing immortal but the right." Author unknown. Wednesday, March 10th. Janie is working working tonight at the Red Cross office, and Dorothy is making a survey of all the people of Johnson Street for the Office of Civilian Defense. My two gals are up in their ears in civic duty. James is working every afternoon after school for Mr. Cole at Piggly Wiggly. Looks like everybody works at our house except the old man who is writing this. Tuesday, March 11th. Fortitude I take to be the quiet possession of man's self and a undisturbed doing his duty wherever evil besets or where dangers lie in the wrong way. John Locke. Friday, March 12th. Quote, no one has ever climbed a mountain by running away from it. There is always something beyond that is worth the trouble it takes to get it. What I do today and the way I do it will either help me or humble me tomorrow. I must master the hand task whenever I am. From Ormont, I'm not sure. Saturday, March 13th. I've taken a fine little look out of the library written by Richard R. Beasley, a former rector of Emmanuel Baptist Episcopal Church of Bristol, Virginia. The church is just a block from home. It is a fine stone church, small but beautiful. I have never been on the inside, but I have admired its fine lines almost every day. The name of Bradley's book is Avenue to God, and it was printed by the King Printing Company in 1935, also of Bristol. Sunday, March 11th. This has been a beautiful spring day, coming after 2 nights and 1 day of rain. I enjoyed Sunday school and church very much this morning. I made my pledge to church for the new church year beginning in April. James and Dorothy also made theirs. I hope I can and will keep my payments up to date this year. I should be a pleasant privilege. Monday, March 15th. Blessed is he that hoeth often, for he shall have no hand row to how not one. The spade that is not clean and heat will forever dig much food to eat. I apologize for my poor reading skills here. It's just some of these words are really hard to understand. Tuesday, March 16th. Quote, Lord of all being, throned afar, thy glory flashes from sun to star. Center and soul of every sphere, yet to each loving heart how near. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Wednesday, March 17th. Went to the Central Presbyterian Church and heard Dr. Alan Frew of Ardmore, Pennsylvania. His sermon was from Ephesians 6:15 and preached a fine sermon. James also went with the High Bunch. Mother worked for the Red Cross and Dorothy stayed home and did some schoolwork. Thursday, March 18th. Little hunks of humus, little grains of sand, make the clay brown garden bare to beat the band. The smallest good deed is better than the grandest intentions. Anonymous. Friday, March 19th. Janie, Dorothy, and I went to hear Dr. Frew tonight. James worked late at the store and went to a show. Planted some onion sets in the garden. It is raining, had tonight, so there is not much I can do outside tomorrow. We liked the sermon immensely, and we are planning to hear him again Sunday morning or night. Have not felt so well today. Guess I am taking a cold. Saturday, March 20th. Dandelions are in bloom and saw seed potatoes on the market. Dot and James worked all day, so Janie and myself went to a show and did some 5 and 10 cent shopping. I purchased a little at Woolworth's, so I now have one more garden tool. Wish I had a spot I could call my own, so I could try to raise so many things. I should like to. Maybe someday we'll be able to, so if it is God's will. Sunday, March 31st. First day of spring, and it has been snowing all day. Must be 3 inches deep. Today is also a Jewish holiday called Purim, which commemorates the deliverance of the Jews from Haman, minister of Abshurus, king of Persia, and Melia. The story of Purim in the 5th century is told in the book of Esther. I must read this story of this fine woman again this spring. Monday, March 22nd. I've had a grand day and evening. Just made out in my order for Burpee's garden seeds to be mailed tomorrow. I heard Jaska Heifties play tonight on the radio. I must try to catch him more often as I can, for that man is one of my favorites. God has given us so much to enjoy in this life that we are very ungrateful to be complaining all the time. Tuesday, March 23rd. I've just finished reading 2 Chronicles. We'll begin Ezra and Mark's Gospel tonight. I'm also reading 1 Psalm a day. This will give me one book in the New Testament, which I have been neglecting as I am trying to read through the Old. I hope to get much more out of my second reading of the New Testament than I did on the first complete reading. The more I read my Bible, the more pleasant it is. May I not be negligent. Wednesday, March 24th. Quote, Our Father, help us never to forget that as our Father thou art interested in our material welfare. Give us a vivid sense of our own stewardship, so that whether we may face poverty or prosperity, we may not be shameful of the way we have used our talents. In the name of Christ, amen. A prayer from Day by Day. Thursday, March 25th. Quote, O thou who dost the virgin send and givest each his task, and with the task sufficient strength. Show us thy will, we ask. Give us a conscience bold and good. Give us a purpose true, for it may be our Father's highest joy, our Father's work to do. Amen. The teacher's own prayer. Friday, March 26. To live content with small means, to seek elegance rather than luxury, and refinement rather than fashion, to study hard, think quietly, talk gently, act frankly, to listen to stars and birds, to babes and sages with open heart, to bear all cheerfully to all the bravely, await occasions, hurry never, in a word, to let the spiritual, unburdened and unconscious grow up through the uncommon. This is to be my symphony. William Henry Channing. Sunday, March 28th. Tried to teach all these classes at Sunday school this morning, but failed to go to church once I had some work I wanted to do at the factory and stayed too long. The pioneer lessons for the next quarter look fine, and I must try to do a good job with the boys, all through April, May, and June. It won't be so long, better they are promoted, and all the help can give them will be over except one that can go on forever. Prayer. Monday, March 29th. Planted some spinach and turnips today. May they do their stuff and give us lots and lots of greens. Mr. Stanley told me I was going to get a $10 a month raise, and I was glad. This is the first one for so long, and I feel really grateful. May I be a good steward and use it as God would have me use all things He so generously gives me. I hope it really helps us. $10 a month. Tuesday, March 30th. We had a fine supper at Big Jack tonight. Mr. and Mrs. J.J. Walls was in his usual fine form of speech, and the chicken was something to remember. I missed bowling, but the boys really were going good and won by 3 points. Max, Pennington, and myself are beginning to think too many things happened on Tuesday night. The league will soon be over, and we will look forward to it next fall. Wednesday, March 31st. Another month ended. I have really felt fine all of this month. James noted tonight how short it has been. Worked in garden until about 8:15 tonight, planting radish, lettuce, beets, and carrots. Oh, how I hope they yield. My old pal Robin Redcrest was on the job again. I am quite sure he likes the worms just as well as he did last year. Goodbye, March, and may April bring joy and peace. So that is the end of March, and we will stop here, pick up on April 1st, sometime tomorrow. Guys, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm really try to read it, and we'll go from there. Allman Brothers, greatest band ever. Peace out.